Um, this is in response to the part where Jyrki was talking about like how their music is being played on the radio. That may be true in like say some parts of maybe the United States and their music being played on the radio in pretty much almost all over Europe. But here in Ohio, like random parts of Ohio, like I live here in Dayton, Ohio, 1039 The X, which is one of the popular radio stations here. They don't play the 69 Eyes. Um, it's like their music, Yerky, his music. It it's like I love his music. I love listening to the 69 Eyes, and I've been listening to him for about like 5, 6 years now. And stations like 1039 The X, they barely play enough of Vila Valo's band, His Infernal Majesty, or otherwise known as him. They don't even play the 69 Eyes, which is Yerke's band, are they, and they don't even play the Rossmans because I don't know if they think there's not enough fan base here for them in Ohio for them to play, say, Yerke's band, the 69 Eyes, are the Rossmans are Vila's band. Him. I I find it very hard to actually listen to 1039 The X now because they don't play enough of the 69 Eyes or him or the Rossmans. They keep repeating like older songs. It I don't understand it. It's There are other bands besides like Seether, Hinder, Linkin Park, which don't get me wrong, they're all great bands, but there are other bands besides them. And they play other songs by other artists too, but it's been so long since I've listened to them, and it's been so long since I've actually had an actual normal regular radio. And basically the only time I can actually listen to 1039 The X is in the car. And I mainly listen to nothing but my iPod, and mainly what I'm listening to is 69 Eyes and the Rossmans and His Infernal Majesty. I wish they played more of the 69 Eyes. I literally do, and they're they're not doing it. Or it's the fact that they don't have like say the CD Angels or Devils or Paris Kills or Back in Blood, the 69 Eyes' newest album, and I wish they did, just for the mere fact that I feel that if if they would just like play maybe like one song like Angels, the title track from the CD Angels, or Never Say Die, or Perfect Skin, or Frankenhooker from the CD Angels, a lot of people would like it. Or maybe even like maybe a few older songs like Lost Boys or Brandon Lee or The Chair or Wasting the Dawn by the 69 Eyes. A lot of people would, more people here would get more into their music. For people like me who listen to the Yerkees band to 69 Eyes, we have to download their music or go out and go to like Best Buy or say Hot Topic, which Hot Topic aren't really selling their CDs anymore. But before, like Devils and Angels by the 69 Eyes and Dead Letters by the Rossums from Hot Topic. And we have to go to places like Best Buy, Walmart, and other places like that to get their CDs, and it's hard to find their CDs in places like that. And I wish that there were more CDs instead of like, like getting them off like their official merchandise websites or whatever. But to me personally, as a fan of all three bands and mainly a big 69 Eyes fan, their music, their music means so much to me as a person, and has pretty much helped me progress and like see the world differently, because it's not just black and white and various shades of gray. There's different variables, different shades of color, not just straight this and this. It's not straight black and white, varying shades of gray. And I love the fact how, like, with them being called the Helsinki vampires, and how horror and like different varying horror movies and vampire movies that have affected their music. So I love that. And I'm like slightly obsessed with horror movies and vampire movies, and of course other things dealing with, vampire, or I already said vampires, werewolves, and other types of creatures of that nature. Oh yeah, I wanted to say that. My last thing I wanted to say that, and this is, I don't know if jyrki will see this or not, but I really don't care if he does or not. And if he does, cool, that's kick ass, I love it. But this is directed towards jyrki himself. It's like, I look up to, this is for jyrki, it's like, I look up to you. I personally think you're like one of the greatest musicians that are out there. Not only you, but like Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, and Mick Jagger. jyrki, you're like one of the few greatest musicians out there, besides Steven Tyler, Ozzy, Axl Rose of Guns N' Roses. There's very few great musicians left in this world, and it, to me, as a music fan and a slight junkie of music, and since music's been a great part of my life, I feel that some musicians today, like some of the newer generation, they didn't grow up on, say, Guns N' Roses, Ozzy Osbourne, and Mick Jagger's band, the Rolling Stones, and Aerosmith. It's like I did. I grew up on their music. I grew up on Huey Lewis and News, Rolling Stones, and Ozzy, and other stuff like that. And there's not many of those people left. You're one of those people, and I thank you for all the hard work you've done, and the hard work you and UC and everybody else in your band puts into it. Keep it up. Thanks.